What's up, Staunch Gang, and welcome back to another installment of New Metal Files, where I look back at assorted new metal groups or new metal adjacent groups that I grew up with that I actually kind of liked for whatever reasons, and I kind of try to shed some positive light on these certain songs that kind of stuck around in my head. There's a lot going on there, but basically, these are kind of a reaction to my worst of new metal series, which is popular in some degree. A lot of people hate it, but hey, it's popular nonetheless. But I'm planning on doing more of the worst of new metal because this is all just my opinion. Anyways, right? Welcome to the internet, goddammit. So for tonight's installment, I decided to kind of go a more mainstream route, as the band that I decided to start with tonight. At one point, were one of the biggest bands in the world, and they're back for all intents and purposes. So, what I try to do again with the show is kind of go back and pick certain songs that I attach myself to. And when it comes to Limp Bizkit, there's not many tunes from their heyday that I like, but there is one that I've always gone back to that I thought was a pretty standout track off of the $3 Bill Y'all album, an album I heard, I think, like way after it came out, from what I remember at least. I remember seeing the video like before, they blew up essentially, but I didn't realize it was the same group. I just always thought it was like some random new metal band, whatever. But here, it's pretty interesting years later, after growing up and whatnot. This is like in 8th grade when this happened. So growing up and whatnot, growing out of that, you kind of see later like different influences that they clearly had the entire time, Limp Bizkit. So tonight, let's check out. This is a live version, I suppose, of their track Counterfeit, a track I think is pretty damn good.
All my relatives live in Orlando.
Oh, all of his relatives live in Orlando. Mine too. Look at this classic lineup. You got everybody here.
Two-faced, phony, fake people in this world.
I think like nowadays, like half of the group is original members, right? I think they got a different drummer and like a different DJ. I'm not sure if it's the same bassist or not. I don't know, man. Let me know down below. So this is at the Warped Tour. I myself have been to 3 Warped Tours in my day. 2002 through 2004. Good times. I didn't get to see Limp Bizkit though. It's interesting to see this group way back then. Like this is before their mega stardom. Again, these guys were right up there. They're like the biggest band in the world for a while. I remember that shit. Oh yeah. That's right. Again, like looking back, that's one thing I really like about this track. This could have easily been like Faith No More or Infectious Grooves or something. It easily has a lot of those elements that it's almost like its own little weird style of crossover when you really get down and think about it. They're doing a lot of things that were unprecedented for the time, and it's like they weren't. They definitely stood out from the rest of the new metal adjacent groups, not only because of their look, but like Wes Borland really did. There was really some standout guitar work there that wasn't just your typical low tune fucking jump up and down bullshit, although that was there, but they kind of always they upped whatever they did, whatever they brought to the table. Limp Bizkit, at least in those days, they really upped their game, they really upped the ante, and they're really trying back in these days, and we all know where all this went eventually. Like in my opinion, the Rollin' and all that shit to me was just like the worst music they had ever put out. We'll talk a bit more about that later. Let me know, what do you think about Counterfeit and $3 Bill Y'all? And what are your opinions on Rollin'? This is tight. I like this track. People accuse me, I get accused often of not liking white rappers. It's like all my favorite rappers are white. Not that Fred Durst is one of them, but this goes to show. I'm here praising Fred Durst like 20 years after the fact. Let's fuck this place up. Hey, so I remember this track. I got introduced to this track. There was a remix, I believe, on the Hard and the Heavy. Some of you guys hit me up. I brought up that compilation a few times, and some of you guys hit me up, and you're like, "Yeah, I had that CD too, man. I played the shit out of it in 8th grade." As did I. As did I, Staunch Gang. Should I review the Hard and the Heavy compilation? I think that'd be pretty fun, especially if you guys know of it. Anyone out there know of it? Would you guys like to hear that? But that being said, what other new metal files should I be doing? I want to be doing a little more of these. Back to the classic jam. It's just like the little things like this hat. This could, if the guy from Scrape wore this hat, it wouldn't have worked. You know? I like that background. This is a cool video too. It's real raw, you know. Real like it's unpretentious. This whole album, real very raw. Like this classic lineup here. There really was something like if you're looking at Limp Bizkit objectively, at least. Like they're all badass. Every single one of these guys, aside from Fred Durst, I admit. But Fred Durst is the perfect frontman for this group. But all these musicians are fucking incredible.
Put their fingers up. Put their fingers up. Those phonies feel it right now. Their ears are burning. Straight out to them.
Alright, now fuck this place up. All right, guys. Limp Bizkit at Warped Tour some years back doing Counterfeit, a track that I still would say is my favorite Limp Bizkit track. Not that that's a long list or anything for me personally. What I wanted to get at earlier when we were talking about where we got to see where their music evolved from Counterfeit and $3 Bill Y'all on. I've always been interested if anyone else remembers this. Now, it was MySpace days, all right? Limp Bizkit had pretty much completely fallen apart. Everyone had left the group, from what I remember, except for Fred Durst. And Fred was, like, on MySpace talking about how he's going to keep the group going, how he's going to keep the magic happening and whatnot. And he put out, I believe, it was, like, 2 demo tracks that was just him, like, rapping over, like, Casio beats or some shit. But it was titled, like, Limp Bizkit something. It was something like that, 2 to 3 tracks. And I remember hearing him with my roommate at the time, Will Thompson. He's the one that showed me. He's like, dude, check this out. And this is right before like the Gold Cobra stuff came out, I believe. I believe it was right before Gold Cobra or yeah, it was right before the Gold Cobra stuff. And the Gold Cobra, I didn't really like that either. A lot of hype for a lot of nothing in that album. But yeah, does anybody else remember those like supposed lost tracks? Does anybody know what the fuck I'm talking about? These 2 or 3 tracks that got put out on MySpace by Fred Durst under the moniker Limp Bizkit. I cannot find them anymore. I have no idea what they sounded very low rent. I remember that, but I don't remember what the tracks were called or anything. Very raw, very low rent. Like, what is this guy doing? He probably shouldn't be doing this. But you know, as I stated, Limp Bizkit is back. I enjoyed that performance they did at that park or whatever recently. I like the whole old man kind of chill stuff. I like the single that Limp Bizkit came back with. So we'll see if the guys have anything else to offer. I've always been a Wes Borland fan. Everything that guy's done, I've always made sure to check out, and I found appreciation for. And the rest of the guys, you know, House of Pain, whatnot. Like, I pretty much, like I said, all these guys are masterclass musicians, as far as I'm concerned. Even Fred Durst, his movie directing is a little out there. But hey, whenever Fred Durst puts a movie out, I'm right there to watch it. So long live Limp Bizkit, why not? What other bands do you think I should check out? I'm going to be kind of formatting these new metal files a little different from varying from band to band. Maybe I'll put some more footage in there, make it a little longer for them. Some of them I'll do the classic Wikipedia read, you know. But I figured for Limp Bizkit, we all know pretty well. I don't need to go that route. So I kind of just wanted to hang out, and you know, maybe I thought maybe some of you guys would be fairly surprised to hear that I actually have a Limp Bizkit song that I like. Who knew? Staunch Gang, Always fun to hang out with you. Let me know who to cover next on the New Metal Files down below. And please like, comment, and subscribe. See you soon.